Hello, Falcon fans, and welcome inside the Ozaki Ice Center, in particular inside the women's hockey locker room, being joined by Brooke Gibson as we reflect on her career. She'll go down as one of the all-time greats to ever play Falcons women's hockey. My name is Matt Menzel, and Brooke, let's start from the very beginning, your beginning to hockey. How did it all begin?
I started playing hockey when I was 5 years old. My dad got me into it. My brother and I both played growing up. We used to skate on the weekdays, just us three, at the parents and tots skate. And so I've been playing my whole life basically. And yeah, I got into it because of him.
So right from the get-go, when you look at your hockey career, was it an instant success? Or is it something you said, this I love? Did you try other sports?
I also grew up playing soccer, so I kind of love both sports, and then I stuck more with hockey as I got older. I loved it right from the jump. Both my brother and I play, and it kind of took him a bit to get into it. I think he just kind of followed in my footsteps, but I loved it right from the start, and yeah, I've been playing ever since.
You talk about your brother Andrew, and he's worked his way up at the professional ranks. How big of an influence has Andrew been on your career?
He's been a huge influence. I take a lot of advice from him. I go to him with a lot of stuff that goes on, on the ice, off the ice. So he's been a big influence in my life. And I've just been a part of that, and it's going good.
How closely do you follow his career?
Really close. I also give him advice too. I'm one from I often coach him off the ice. So we go back and forth, and it helps a lot.
So you think about, growing up playing hockey, were you always a forward? Did you try other positions?
I tried defense for one game, and I kept staring at the puck, and I wasn't the greatest at skating backwards, so I moved back to center really quickly.
So when did you realize that maybe you had a future in the sport?
Honestly, don't know. I just kept playing because I loved it, and then obviously Concordia reached out, and now I'm here.
What made Concordia a good fit for you?
Honestly, the team, I love them. I did an overnight stay, and so I really got to know the team dynamic, the culture. I love Steve as a coach, just talking with him. He's really upfront about what he wants in his players, and I really respected that. And yeah, it just seemed like a really great fit for me, and I loved it here. I've loved it ever since I decided to commit.
And we're going to talk more about the 4 years. Obviously, not only from an individual standpoint, but from a team standpoint, and the progress this program has made in your 4 years with this senior group, this class of 11. But let's go back to day one. Okay, so you're a freshman, first regular season game, November 2nd of 2021 against Lawrence. What do you remember about just, the early stages of your freshman career?
I just remember all of us being excited. Obviously, we have a really big senior class, and we've been together ever since, obviously, freshman year. So there were a lot of nerves, but a lot of excitement. A lot of us got our first ever goals, which was huge. I remember that. And yeah, it just really set the tone for the rest of the 4 years. So, yeah.
You talk about everybody participating, but also contributing in that season opening victory. It was an 11-0 win against Lawrence. You had a goal as well. Do you remember that first goal?
I do. I remember it, and I don't know if it's because I've looked back on it watching the video, but I remember the excitement and the emotion behind it. It was a really big game. I think we won 11-0. Yeah, 11-0. So it was huge for the program, huge for us just as freshmen and being new. It was very exciting, and yeah.
I've probably asked you this before, but do you still own the puck?
Yes, I do. I keep the pucks. Mainly because my mom wants them, so yeah.
The puck collection, how big is it?
I'm not too sure. There are some, yeah.
What's amazing to me is when you look at your freshman season, okay, we talk about scoring right from the get-go and maybe a confidence booster. You talk about setting the tone for your career, scoring goals in 4 of your first 5 games. From a confidence perspective, was that a big booster for you? Did you realize right from the get-go that, yes, I do belong?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, going into your freshman year, you don't really know what to expect, just playing wise, or even how the dynamic is in the locker room and stuff like that. So there's a lot of unknowns. I think scoring in the 4 games really gave me the confidence going into my freshman year, and even all 4 years being here. Yeah.
Somewhat close to home at Buffalo State, November the 26th, you recorded your first career hat trick. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I remember that trip like it was yesterday. It was a lot of fun. It was our first big road trip for us freshmen, so it was a really good time. I remember the game too. I mean, a hat trick is kind of hard to forget, so that was really exciting. My mom was in town because we live somewhat close, so there was a lot going on. It was very exciting. Thanksgiving, and yeah, I do remember it.
When you look back to your freshman year, you look at some of the final totals: 13 goals, 9 assists, 7 power play goals, 6 game-winning goals. How successful in your eyes was your first year?
I think it was really successful. I mean, like, I was never satisfied throughout the 4 years, but looking back, now that it's done, I am very, I guess, satisfied with my freshman year and how it all came into play and stuff like that. I was really proud of myself and happy with how it ended, for sure.
And obviously, from a stat standpoint, stats will go up and down throughout the course of a career. So when you look back at 4 years with Concordia women's hockey, how do you feel like you improved both on and off the ice?
I think on the ice, I've definitely improved with just like moving my feet, getting a quicker shot off, stuff like that. Just like in practice, focusing on stuff like that. Off the ice, my leadership skills, I think, have really, I guess, excelled. Coming into, a big team and being such a big class, you kind of don't really know where your role is or how it's going to play out the next 4 years. And so being able to take like a leadership role my junior year was very, I guess, like a proud moment for me. And I really did feel like I was in my role. So,
Does December 9th of 2022 mean anything to you?
You're going to have to give me an update on what happened that day.
You will be in the record book for a long time, I'm sure, scoring 5 goals in one game against Finlandia. I know there were many milestones throughout your time with the Falcons, but you look at that performance, how special was that? What do you remember about scoring 5 goals in the game? And did you know at the end of the game you had scored 5 goals?
Honestly, it was so exciting. It was such a surreal moment, feeling. It didn't feel real, so when it happened, it was just kind of like, okay, I scored, and then it kept going. It was really exciting. I was kind of in like a rut for a bit, so like to be able to score 5 goals in one game was huge, and that was obviously a huge confidence booster.
I love the date because, okay, December 9th of 2022, 9/22, 9/2, 92, that's your jersey number. Any significance to that number?
No. So
Randomly.
I was always 10 or 21 growing up. And then when I came to this team, 10 was already taken. And I was like, I really wanted to switch things up. So talking about my brother, I was like, what's a good number? What number should I stick with? And he was like, you should go for something different. So we came up with the number 92, which he is now. He just switched teams and took over the number. So I guess now it has some significance. And I kind of started the trend. But yeah, before that, there was no significance at all.
So what number do you have maybe growing up in the past?
Yeah, 10 or 21 for sure. For both sports, like hockey and soccer was definitely my go-to.
Well, mentioning 5 goals in one game, that again is the program's single game record. In fact, 4 others have scored, or at least 5 times, 4 goals in one game for Falcon women's hockey, but 5 set the tone back on December 9th of 2022. You look at the record book, your name is all over the record book, whether it be career totals, single game totals, single season totals. And I don't know if you really reflect on that kind of stuff, but is there any record that stands out that means the most to you?
Honestly, I think hitting 100 career points really stuck out to me, specifically because it was against Adrian when we won, and like my goal was the game-winning goal, which was really exciting, obviously. So that one definitely sticks out to me just because it was like so significant, not just like for me, but for the team. And winning against Adrian was a huge game and really like put the momentum in going into our second game the day after. So that really sticks out to me.
Yeah, you talk about points, 107 over the course of 108 career games, not to mention exactly 50 career goals. You set the career goals record here on home ice against Lake Forest back in November. When you think about all the goals you have scored, is there one goal outside of maybe the game winner against Adrian? Is there a goal that stands out among the rest?
That's a really good question. I've never really thought about it. I don't really focus too much on stats. I just mostly focus on playing and, enjoying it, having a good time. So no goal really stands out, maybe like some of my nice shots. But other than that, I would say just the Adrian one really sticks out just because of how important it was to win that game.
Did you notice as time went on and you became more of a proven scorer and teams started to take notice, the teams approach you differently?
Not necessarily. I do know like this year somewhat the dynamic had changed where sometimes I'd have like two girls on me at once, just because. But other than that, not really. I'm more so focused, like try to focus on my game and just like go in with a very clear mentality and just try to have fun. Yeah.
Well, and what blows my mind when you look back at 50 career goals, 15 have been game winners. I mean, you've been in the right spot at the right time, and you've come through and delivered in the clutch for this Falcon program. I asked you about your favorite goal. How about favorite game? Are there a couple of games that maybe come to mind?
Favorite game? The Adrian one was huge. The Adrian one when I was a freshman was huge as well, the one where we won. I would say both playoff games this year, too, were really just important because of its significance. I mean, throughout my 4 years here, our first three, we never moved past the first round of playoffs. So for this team to move past, although we didn't have the outcome we wanted in the end, it was very much like a so surreal moment, a very full circle moment. I was so proud and happy of our team and just like how much we've really come together this year. It was such a great experience and I loved it.
Let's talk more about this season, okay? 11 seniors. How special was this group growing with them in this locker room?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, these girls are going to be my best friends for the rest of my life. We've grown so close just from day one, coming in as such a big class. You're kind of forced to all become friends and stay super close. And having such a tight-knit group has really helped with, like, our team dynamic on and off the ice and just, like, staying on the same page and, all having a common goal and striving to, like, achieve that goal has been really special.
A lot of goals achieved this past winter, including a program record 20 wins. When did it become real to you that this team was that good?
Honestly, right off the bat, it really hit me how good and how much potential we had this year. Not necessarily like anything has really changed. I think just like our dynamic on the ice, we started to flow a lot better, work together a lot better. Our lines were clicking. I know in the past we've kind of switched things up a lot, but this year, throughout the season, we kind of stayed with the same lines just because we gelled so well together. So I think right off the bat, when we kept winning, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a really special team and we can go far for sure.
You being the captain, that had to be pretty special too, having those honors. But again, in a experienced locker room like this.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it's a great feeling to be part of like our leadership team and be that leader. But it honestly is all of us, really. We have a part in it, and just having everyone on the same page. And again, talking about that common goal, just trying to focus on like us winning and just doing well and being successful and sacrificing and doing what we need to do to win has really been making my role easier for sure.
Finishing in third place in the NCHA, but you alluded to it, getting the opportunity to host a quarterfinal playoff series. That was a big goal. That was pretty special, wasn't it, to get home ice in the postseason?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was a goal that we talked about right off the bat starting this year. Like, we want not only like to make it to playoffs, but to host for sure. So finishing third, although it wasn't first, it was still a really good, position to be in going into playoffs. Not that you should ever feel comfortable or satisfied, but it definitely takes that like pressure off, especially always finishing in that like fifth place where you're just making it, and kind of like fighting for that home ice advantage. It was nice to be secure and feel like we had that going into playoffs for sure.
How tough is it? Okay, you played Marion to wrap up the regular season. You play Marion again in the postseason, so you get 4 straight against these Sabres. Is that difficult? Is it not difficult, being that you're familiar with your opponent?
I think it goes both ways. It's difficult in the sense where it's like you're kind of overplaying them and they're definitely overplaying you. But you also learn more about how they play and how they work together and, their systems and stuff like that. It was easy to remember just because we played them so soon, obviously, right before playoffs. Sometimes you forget how teams play moving into playoffs. So there were like pros and cons to it for sure, but we got the outcome we wanted, so it worked out.
Yeah, and talk about 2 different games. Game 1, tight. Game 2, not so much. How intense was that series?
That was really intense. I mean, obviously, going into playoffs, you want it to be the easiest games possible. But you know what? We did bear down. We worked together, and we really did grind through those last few games. And I was very proud of us and how we ended.
I was going to ask you, what did that mean on home ice to win a series and move on to the semi for the first time for the program since 2021?
It meant so much. We kept saying this whole year, just like it's so much bigger than us, right? Like, obviously, we were really successful this year with like beating a bunch of records as a team and finishing in third, but it's greater than that. We had so many alum texting us, even like when we beat Adrian and like moving forward, they were like emailing coach, texting us just of how proud they were of us. So it was a good reminder that like it's not just us, it's like every girl that's been here before us and has put time and effort into this program to make it what it is today. It was very like rewarding for sure.
So now that your time is done with the Falcons, at least on the ice, have you had a chance to kind of reflect on the past 4 years?
I haven't. I think I'm still in denial that it's over. I mean, this program, this game has like shaped me into the person I am today. So a life without hockey is going to be very strange for sure. But just reflecting on like how much this really means to me, not as much on the ice, but I guess off the ice, like again, shaping me into the person I am today and just like making lifelong friends. It's been like the best 4 years of my life. If I could do it all over again, I would do it the same. And it's great. It flew by, and yeah, I'm just trying to slowly ease into a life without hockey after college for sure.
So with that being said, what are you most proud of in your time with Concordia women's hockey?
I'm proud of myself and I'm proud of this team. I mean, I've played with so many girls. So being like a part of this program has meant so much to me. Me as a person, I've just like really been able to like find myself and like find a voice in this like leadership role, and even just being a part of it, something greater than I am, has really like molded me into this person that I am. As a team, like I could not be more proud of how this program has developed and is developing. I mean, there's still more to come. Unfortunately, I'm kind of like done with that in a playing sense, but this program is still going to mean so much to me, and I will be supporting no matter what. So,
And I know you're the ultimate team player, but facts are facts. When you look at that record book, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road, your name is going to be all over that record book still. Whether it be in first place or not, I don't know, but it will be in the top 5 in just about every category. With that being said, looking down the road, how do you hope people remember you? How do you hope people talk about Brooke Gibson when it comes to Falcons hockey?
I just hope that people remember me, not just on the ice, but off the ice. I mean, this program, again, has meant so much, and I feel like I've really made an impact, not just on the ice, but even mostly off the ice, like just trying to be a leader and lead by example and help this program develop. I mean, like this has been such a big part of my life. So moving forward, if it can just continue to grow and, even like in the recruiting process and stuff like that, being a part of that has been huge. So just remembering me, I guess not just as a player, but as a person. And I guess I'll remember all the girls the same way.
I'll put you on the spot, but who are some of the people that have played a big role in your hockey journey?
With this team, honestly, like everyone, but mainly the seniors, and like just these 4 years being spent with them has meant so much to me and my hockey journey. It's really helped me develop as a player. Coach here has helped me not just on the ice but off the ice. He's such a great support. He's an amazing coach. I can't thank him enough. Just for helping me develop again on and off the ice. Thanking like my family and my parents, they've been such a big part of my hockey journey and like supporting me throughout all of these years of playing, getting up in the early mornings on Sunday when I was a kid and like driving me all over for hockey, but they've played a huge part in it. And just like everyone that I've played with who has coached me, stuff like that has been a part of, I guess, what I am and who I am today for sure.
So finally, as reality starts to kick in, that hockey is done, at least this chapter in your life is done, what's next for Brooke Gibson?
Hopefully become a teacher. I'm going to stay in the area, so hopefully teaching in some elementary school. I might go into coaching. Who knows what kind of opportunities will present itself. But yeah, that's the main plans for now. I'm trying to keep a very open mind and see where things go. But hockey will definitely be a part of it. Whether I'm just coming here to watch the girls play or coach somewhere, we'll see what happens.
And perhaps put on a headset on the game broadcast?
Yes. You never know. I'm available.
Well, Brooke, thank you for all you've done for this program, for this university, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
That's Brooke Gibson, and thanks for joining us here on the Falcon Athletic Network.